Welcome. Let's give everyone a minute to get online and then we'll get started. Welcome everyone to the Creative Ireland information session for Westmeath. Just before we get started, to say if you have any questions throughout, you can put them in the Q&A function and we'll get to them at the end. We'll give everyone just a minute to get online and then we'll get started. Just so you know as well, this meeting will be recorded for anyone who isn't able to attend. Anyone who wants to hear, we'll be uploading it to our YouTube. Okay, so we'll get started. As I said, welcome everyone to this information session for the Creative Westmeath Programme. If you have any questions throughout, you can pop them in the group chat and or the Q&A function, and I'll get to them at the end. During this session, we're going to be looking at the Creative Westmeath Programme to date, including the strategy plan for Westmeath, Creative Westmeath. We're going to look at the 3 strands of funding available in 2025 and then some tips on for application and next steps after application. Firstly, we have some stats about the Creative Ireland programme in Westmeath. In 2024, we had 76 initiatives funded through the programme, with over 30,000 participants getting involved. Since 2019, we have had over 1 million participants engaged with the programme in this county. In 2024, our total funding was over €289,000. 71% of that went directly towards creative practitioners. The other 29% went towards admin, venue rental, marketing, and other overheads. In 2024, we had over 200 creative practitioners engage with and receive funding from the programme. And since 2020, we have engaged with over 1,200 creative practitioners in Westmeath. In 2024, the Culture and Creativity team increased that core budget that we receive in funding by over 50% through application process. The Culture and Creativity team in Westmeath, to give you a bit of a background on that, this is our Culture and Creativity team. Their information is available on the Creative Ireland website, creativeireland.gov.ie/Westmeath. So you don't have to take this down. I just wanted to show you the breadth of experience we have on the Culture and Creativity team. The Westmeath Culture and Creativity team brings together local expertise in arts, heritage, libraries, as well as enterprise, environment, and community engagement, with the goal of fostering collaboration and sparking new initiatives. You can see here that we have representatives from community, environmental awareness, the local enterprise office, the regeneration project, and more. The Culture and Creativity team in Westmeath was involved in the creation of the Westmeath Culture and Creativity Strategy, which includes the strategic priorities for the county's programme. These priorities represent the principles that must underpin all Creative Westmeath programmes. You can find the strategy as well on the Creative Ireland website. That's the website that I mentioned earlier, creativeireland.gov.ie/Westmeath. We'll go through the strategic priorities now. Our first strategic priority is economic development and creative industries. This has the aim of cultivating opportunities that connect with local industries, creative practitioners and communities, and to support cultural and creative activities that drive economic returns locally. Our second strategic priority is diversity and access, aiming to facilitate the capacity of culture and creativity to innovate and collaborate in achieving priorities locally around social cohesion, greater health and well-being, and cognizance for the rural and urban makeup of the county and the growing diversity of our communities. Next is creative youth, looking at empowering young people through cultural and creative processes and strategies to realise their potential and enhance individual potential. Next, we have climate action and sustainability, harnessing the power of culture and creativity to animate greater awareness, behavioural change, and meaningful engagement on the profound environmental changes we're witnessing. And finally, we have the Westmeath Culture and Creativity team, looking at supporting capacity building of the culture and creativity teams to lead on the development of collaborative strategies of scale that benefit the county and, in the broadest sense, its creative communities. A lot of our team members on the culture and creativity team are new to the team, and that is where we're looking at with the capacity building and higher collaboration. Next, we're going to discuss the funding that's available, and we'll start with the Creative Communities grants. The Creative Communities grant call encourages the development of high quality creative programs and projects and programs. Creative community projects must involve a meaningful, active engagement between communities and at least one creative professional. Community groups must be actively involved in the planning process and allowed to express what they want to be working on. Under this stream, there are two strands of funding. Strand 1 is fixed at €5,000 and Strand 2 is fixed at €10,000. This means proposals for less won't be considered and proposals for more must show where they are securing the additional funding from. So who can apply for the Creative Community Grant in Westmeath? This is open to community groups, organisations and venues, artists, collectives, creative practitioners and curators. You must be able to show that the creatives involved in this grant have the experience required to contribute, and you also must be able to show that the community involved are actively participating. Next, we have the assessment criteria for Creative Community Grants. There's certain eligibility requirements listed in the brief. Please make sure you read them before working on your application. For example, this stream doesn't cover book publishing, website development, or individual artist support. But the assessment criteria for the Creative Community Grants will be used by the panel to score all applications. 30% of the mark will be the project outline. You will be asked to outline your project detailing the aims and outcomes, and you must show that it is innovative and creative. 20% is community engagement, ensuring that your project will encourage engagement between creatives and communities. 20% is your track record. You must provide evidence that the creative professional has the required skills and experience to undertake the project. 10% then is for time frame. The project must start before the 1st of June and be complete before the 12th of October. So we're looking at the feasibility and viability of the project to be completed within that time frame. 10% then for budget. You must clearly show how the amount applied for will be used, and also show if the project will require further funding, where that will be coming from. And finally, growth potential. That's related to the project's ability to exist and be sustainable beyond 2025 and beyond the Creative Community Grant. Next up, we have the Arts Office and Creative Ireland Festival Development Grant. This is a county-wide call to develop a creative festival programme in Westmeath. It is a co-funded collaboration between Westmeath Arts Office and Creative Westmeath, specifically designed to provide funding to small or mid-sized creative festivals within the county. Proposals must show their ability to maximise creative community and citizen engagement. This fund is fixed at €10,000. Again, proposals for less won't be considered, and proposals for more must show their other streams of funding. Who can apply for this grant? The Festival Development Grant is for community groups, organisations, venues and individuals working to develop a creative festival programme in Westmeath. You must show that you have a business development plan, a draft programme and a project outline. And the assessment criteria for the Festival Development Grant: quite similar to before. We've 30% on project outline. You have to show your plan for the festival, how it will come to fruition and what will happen during the event. 20% on track record. This is the ability of the team to deliver the program. This will be shown through your business development plan. 20% on time frame. Again, the feasibility of the festival happening before the 12th of October deadline. And 10% on budget. Again, showing the accuracy of the budget, other sources of funding, and finally 10% on growth potential. Sustainability, again, of the festival continuing beyond 2025 and beyond this funding. Next, we have the Westmeath Creative Practitioner Residencies. The Creative Practitioner Residencies call out is a county-wide call to creative practitioners across all fields. The practitioners must be living and working in Westmeath. The Creative Practitioner Residency is a 12-week-long residency, and there are the maximum of 5 residencies available. Payment is €700 per week for 12 weeks. The residency will be located in Westmeath on a part-time basis of 20 hours per week. This will allow for 15 hours of active engagement on the residency project, including preparation time, and 5 hours for creative practitioners to work on their own practice. Once residencies have been finalised, we will promote the successful residents through our network to allow community groups to express interest in working with the residents. Who can apply for the Creative Practitioner Residency in Westmeath? It's open for all creative practitioners across all creative fields. That includes arts, heritage, literature, dance, audiovisual, music, theatre, circus. You must be based in Westmeath, however, and working in Westmeath. Finally, the assessment criteria for the creative community grants. These are evenly weighted, 25% for each. Project outline is the quality and innovation of the project. Growth potential, again, the ability for the project to continue once the residency completes. Track record, ability of the applicant to undertake the project they are proposing. And time frame, feasibility of the project to be completed within 12 weeks. There are our strands of funding available for the year. Next, we'll discuss the application process, just some tips for working on your application. The application form layout, we use Jotform for the application form. All forms are 1 page. In most cases, up top, you'll have the contact and eligibility questions, and then followed by a question per criteria. The application form just asks the questions necessary to ensure the panel reviewing has all the information to hand that they need for scoring. Once you submit your application, you will receive a PDF copy of the application. This is also your receipt of application. It will take a few minutes to come in, but it is your responsibility to email myself or Arts if you do not receive this email. And finally, you can make changes to the application by emailing before the deadline. Our contact information will be later on. This is only required if you have significant change to make. For example, if you forget to attach a document or something, grammatical errors, anything like that won't factor into the decision-making process. So no need to contact about that. But if there's significant changes to the application, if you reach out to us before the deadline, we can help you out with that. Some do's and don'ts then for putting your application together. Keep your language clear and concise. There's no need to overcomplicate things. Make sure you read the criteria and the eligibility requirements and answer the corresponding question with the criteria in mind. Make sure you give yourself enough time to get all the required information together, any attachments you want to include, such as letters of support, and make sure you give your co-applicants enough time to work on their parts. And finally, make sure you do receive the confirmation email with a PDF attached, so we definitely have your application. The don'ts, don't miss the deadline. The deadline for applications is Wednesday, the 5th of February. For the Festival Development Grant, and Wednesday, the 12th of February at 12 p.m. for the remaining grants and residencies. Just to reiterate, the deadline is 12 p.m, so please make sure you have it in before midday on Wednesday the 5th for the Festival Development and Wednesday the 12th for the remaining grants and residencies. Make sure you complete all sections of the application and you're including everything that shows off what your project will bring to the Westmeath's creative landscape. So make sure you're including all information and you've had a look and made sure to include all sections, complete all sections of the application. Once the panel makes their decision, all applicants will be informed on whether their application was successful. If you have been successful, you must complete a form with final project details within 2 weeks of receiving notice of funding. This will be in the form of again, another JOT form. You must also include on this JOT form your proof of insurance indemnifying Westmeath County Council, and also if you're working with young people, your child protection policy. And any key information as well will need to be finalised by then. So anything for anyone wanting to engage with you in the programme, that will include dates, all of that needs to be finalised by that deadline. Once you complete that first form, the first tranche of funding, which is 50%, will be issued. You will also be given a deadline for your mid-cycle report based on your project timeline. Once the mid-cycle report is complete, you'll receive the second tranche of funding, 25%. And on completion of the final report, you will receive the final 25% of funding. If you would like to discuss your projects individually, you have a number of ways to do that. We have some online clinics happening this week. If you go to westmeathculture.ie, navigate to the news page, and on the page entitled Creative Communities Westmeath 2025, you will find the link for that. You can reach myself on grace.dignam@westmeathcoco.ie or on 087 940 9317. And finally, our general email address is arts@westmeathcoco.ie. So you can reach us on any of the above email addresses, phone numbers, or get one of those clinics. Those clinics are happening this week, tomorrow and Thursday. So you can sign up for those, as I said, on westmeathculture.ie. Now, if anyone has any questions about any of that. So firstly, in the chat, Laura from the Arts Office, thank you, has included the link to book a one-on-one session if you'd like to get involved with that. First, a couple of questions about the Festival Development Grant. Is it possible to apply for the Festival Development Grant if not based in Westmeath? As long as the festival is happening in Westmeath and is to the benefit of communities in Westmeath, that you're welcome to apply for that. And are festivals eligible for the Creative Community Grant, or are they only eligible for the Festival Development Grant? Thank you, that's a good question. You are welcome to apply for the Creative Community Grant for a festival, particularly if you're looking for development funding. We have that €5,000 grant, so you can apply for that for festival development as well. And thank you for reminding me, you can apply for more than one grant. Due weight will be given to ensure the funding is evenly distributed throughout the county. However, you are welcome to apply for more than one grant. I have another one there. So the Creative Practitioner Residency, yes, is open to creative practitioners based in Westmeath, and the project has to take place in Westmeath. The Creative Community Grants, you can apply for those if you're living outside of Westmeath, as long as the programme happens in Westmeath. Anyone has any more questions? This was a little quicker than I thought it would be. So there's a hand up. We can't unmute you, unfortunately, so you're going to have to type into either the chat or the Q&A. The online clinics, yes, they're one-to-one. So if you want to discuss, they're good. If you want to discuss specific details of your project, if you have any general questions, I can answer them here, but the one-to-one clinics are your best bet. The presentation, yes, for anyone who missed the beginning, we will be uploading it to YouTube, so you'll be able to watch that shortly on YouTube. The creative community grants, the minimum you can apply for is €5,000. So the strand 1 is fixed at €5,000. Strand 2 is fixed at €10,000. Applications for less won't be considered. If you are unsure of what your project looks like at that scale, please do set up a meeting with myself and we can discuss what you can be working on that fits within that kind of area. Is this open to amateurs or professionals? The creative practitioner does have to have experience working within their creative field. So if you are the creative practitioner on board with the project, you do need to have evidence that you are able to undertake a project of that scale. With the insurance, then you need to have your public liability insurance, and you need to ensure that you indemnify Westmeath County Council. If you get a pricing for that and you want to include that in the costs of the grant, that's not that's allowed, but a lot of companies, if you already have a lot of insurance companies, if you already have public liability insurance, they're used to having to indemnify the county council, so it normally isn't an additional cost. If you are looking to where to get a list of creative professionals, if you are interested in working on a specific project, if you're a creative professional that doesn't have has an idea and doesn't have a community project to work, a community group to work with, the Creative Practitioner Residency, we help as much as possible with getting community groups involved with that. If you are a community group that doesn't have an artist, has an idea but no artist, if you reach out to us, we can help based on what you're looking for. Whose insurance, community groups or artist? That depends on the project. If artists are working directly with a community, obviously they're all working directly with a community group, but if the community group has its insurance, they can employ as such as a freelancer the artist and they'd be covered by their insurance. In other cases, some artists would have their own insurance if they do public work frequently. How long is the council seeking the festival to run? For the festival development grant, there's no limit. It can be a weekend long, a day long, a month long. If you have a proposal for a festival that is over a different timescale, you can apply. We've no timeline limits. For Creative Ireland, all Creative Ireland projects, you probably noticed, have to be finished by the 12th of October. As long as the festival is done by then, we have no requirements on how long or short they are. Is the festival to be run this year? And if so, what dates the council want it on? The festival does have to be run this year. It has to be run and complete before the 12th of October. We don't have specific dates if in terms of as long as it's finished by the 12th of October. It can happen at any point from when you receive funding to 12th of October. Events after 12th of October right through to next June. We will have funding available next year for application for projects in 2026 due to our own requirements in terms of our work with the National Creative Ireland Programme. We have to have programmes finished before the 12th of October. If you are looking to apply for a project that ends shortly after that, if you reach out to us and we can discuss deadlines. Any particular festival styles the council hopes for, or is this for a general Westmeath Celebration County Festival? No, we've no particular styles that we are interested in more than other. The full terms of what deems the festival eligible are in the brief, but in general, as long as they're bringing community people into the creative space, be that through a music festival or a literary festival or a eco-friendly festival. The word escapes me, but as long as it brings creativity into the community, it fits under any of the streams, really. I'll give it another minute in case anyone has any other questions. But if you think of anything afterwards, you can reach us on arts@westmeathcoco.ie or my own email, grace.dignam@westmeathcoco.ie. And you're more than welcome to set up a clinic, as I said, to discuss your project one-on-one. Can the festival be a sub of a larger festival such as the Youth Festival? Yes, if there is a national or local festival and you want to do a element of that through this funding, you can apply for that. Yeah. So if we've no more questions, again, if anyone thinks of anything, you can give me a call on 087 940 9317 or reach me on grace.dignam@westmeathcoco.ie or the arts team on arts@westmeathcoco.ie. We can wrap it up. Yeah, double check. No questions. Thanks everyone for joining us. Keep it short, won't keep anyone longer than they have to. I'm sure a few of you are joining us on your data after last Friday, so I won't keep you online any longer than necessary. If any questions at all, please do give us an email or join one of those clinics to talk one-on-one about your project. And looking forward to seeing all the applications from everyone. Thanks, everyone.